Hey, what is up guys? This is Alex with Easy PC here, coming at you with a new video. Today we have a project on our hands. We are going to be making this pre-built PC that I happened to buy on Black Friday last year, which was November 2016. And we're going to make this pre-built PC into a gaming PC, specifically in that 1080 gaming range. Now, this pre-built PC here, to kind of give you a background on what it is an HP Pavilion desktop. The exact model number here is 510-P114. And so this PC was advertised as a performance PC, which basically means that it is very good at doing basic computer needs. And so if you are going to be using it for browsing or homework or anything online, this would be perfect. Or if you're going to be using some, video programming, editing programming with pictures or anything like that, this would also do pretty well. So for the most part though, we'll get into the internals and see what is all inside. Alright guys, so let's go over a little bit of the specs of the internals of this pre-built PC. So really the biggest selling point of this PC, in my opinion, has to be the processor. This PC was paired up with an i7-6700T processor, which is a 4-core and 8-threaded processor, but it's not necessarily like the other 6700s. This, basically the processor is more or less made for energy efficiency, and so you're going to see this clocked at a 2.8 gigahertz clock speed as its base clock. I believe the max turbo speed is 3.6 gigahertz, so it's a little bit lower than the other 6700 i7 processors. But for the most part, like I said, this was basically made to be a performance PC. It is also paired up with 12 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM, which is awesome because it really makes the performance part kind of a check mark off the list when trying to make this a good PC. Really all we got to worry about from there is the graphics. Now, it's not paired up with an SSD. It has a 2 terabyte hard drive in it, which is nice, good storage amount. But there's really not much else to it that is any fancier than that. The downfalls with pre-builts are always been the PSUs. PSUs and pre-built computers tend to be on the lower end of the spectrum, and so you're going to see in this PC a whopping 180 watt power supply. And so this next part here, let's get into what we need to do to make this a gaming PC. Alright guys, so to make this PC a gaming PC, there is essentially two things that we need to add or switch in a sense to make this gaming worthy. The first thing we already kind of went over, and that is the PSU. Simply, the PC has a small PSU, 180 watts, and we need to replace that with a higher end PSU. Since we're going for a 1080p gaming PC, we really don't need to strive for a really high end PSU. So what we have here is we just have a simple Evga 500 watt bronze power supply. This power supply was actually used in the computer that I built myself. This was the first PSU that I used. Since then I upgraded that to 750 watts, so this will actually be perfect for this pre-built. So we'll get this in the computer and then we'll have our power supply situation fixed. And then the last piece of the puzzle, realistically, is just the graphics card. What we have here is a XFX AMD Radeon RX 460 graphics card, 4 gigabytes of VRAM. And we'll go over a little bit on why we chose this one. Now, this one's actually pretty hard to find. I had to buy this one off of eBay, so this is a used graphics card, but it's really, really hard to find these new, and so there's a reason why. And so for the most part, we'll go into the internals of the computer. We'll discuss the difficulties or troubles that we're going to be facing with this pre-built PC. Alrighty guys, so we have the PC side panel taken off here so we can get kind of a look on the internals here. And I know it's kind of hard for you to see since the camera's positioned a little far away, but the biggest troubles we have with this PC is its simple, compact size. The reason why we went with the XFX graphics card is simply because it is a single slot GPU. This graphics card here will fit inside this PC, and it's gonna barely fit, but we'll put this in and we'll kind of figure out how we need to do it and what we need to take out temporarily to get it in. But if you kind of can see, there's absolutely no way that a dual slotted GPU would work in this system. Well, almost every GPU out there is dual slotted, which makes it really difficult to try to find the exact one we want. Now, there is a couple out there that you can go with that might work in here. For example, there is single slot 1050s out there, and there is single slot GT 1030s that you could go with as well, that would fit in here. The only problem is, and again, you'll see in the later part of the video, but inside here, you can actually see the 24-pin connector of the motherboard is literally right next to our PCI slot. And so what that kind of hinders us a little bit is if the graphics card has a tall fan to it, there's not much you can do to get that in here because that 24-pin connector is there. It's a very bad placement for that 24-pin connector. But this here, we'll get it open here, we'll kind of go over this, and then we'll eventually put everything together. Alright guys, so here's the last component that we will go over here before we start putting it in the PC here. This is the graphics card. So XFX makes this single slot GPU here. It's got one single fan to it, but what's really nice is its compact size to it here. And so this is going to be able to fit into our pre-built PC. The only complication that we're going to have is more or less the length of this card. The CD drive kind of shoots backwards into where the card's going to go, and so we'll probably have to find out a way to take the CD drive out. We might not be able to put it back in, but for the most part, we take the CD drive out, and this is going to slip right in, and we'll be good to go. So, yeah, let's get on to the build. Let's take a little closer look at the internals here and just start putting everything together. So since we've already gone through all the components of the computer and we've gone over the components that we're going to be putting into it, let's go ahead and take out this old PSU here, replace it with our 500 watt, that way we have enough power to power everything, and then we'll go ahead, we'll test it and make sure it works. Alright guys, and there you have it. We have our new PSU and our new GPU all installed here. Cable management isn't too bad, but here's all the extra cables. We just got them zip tied together onto the, looks like a hard drive post supporter for the case to make it stronger. But really the only casualty of this case here was actually this part here, which eventually what I'll end up doing is I'll just take a Dremel to here and basically take this off. But in order to get our power supply plugged in, we need to peel off this metal part here. And so we will basically Dremel this out, and that way it's not protruding like it is now and potentially gonna cause someone to get scratched. But now is here, or I should say, now is kind of the main event here. We basically plug it in, we see if it posts, and from there we can download drivers and start benchmarking this PC. Alright guys, thanks for watching the video here of the sleeper. Now in this video here, what you can see is we actually had to add a fan to the side. There wasn't much cooling or any fan air flow through this PC here, but this fan on the side here definitely blows air on the whole components, even the GPU itself. And so it's a nice kind of neon blue LED lights. But thank you again for watching the video. If you liked what you see, please like and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.